hope that everyone is logged into the workshop. We find that some people sometimes log into the workshop, but they're doing something else and they're not getting the meat of it. So that at the end of it, your company pays for our HRC for the workshop, but you don't benefit because you weren't present. I don't want that this morning. I want to make sure we're present and we're going to be benefiting. I want to make sure. All right, let's move on then. So our title, High Impact Coaching for Managers and Supervisors. Somebody's talking. Somebody's background is noisy. Thank you very much. We're going to be we did a quick introduction, and then we're going to just ask some questions at the beginning. And then we go into coaching part 1 with a case study review. Miss Hall not giving us any coffee this morning, so we have no coffee break. So we continue. Our coaching part 2, the way forward, and we review our case study, and then at the end of it, we'll evaluate and close. And that should take us straight. So I'm going to be packing into this 3 hours, 2 days work, okay? And more, but we're going to try our best to pack it in. So let me talk to me a little bit now. We're talking about high impact coaching. So give me a sense now. What do you know about the topic? What do you need to know? What outcomes do you expect from this workshop? Talk to me, everybody. What do you know about the topic? And it doesn't matter what you don't know. Just tell me what you know about the topic of coaching. What do you need to know? In fact, what more do you need to know? And then what outcomes do you expect from the workshop? Anybody, just go ahead and tell me quickly. Come, everybody, come, talk to me. I told you not to come expecting a lecture. It's an interactive workshop, as Ms. Howell said earlier. So I want to hear from you. What do you know about the topic of coaching? And if you're not aware of the topic of coaching, just say, listen, I'm not aware of the topic of coaching. I don't know, but here's what I need to know. And here are the outcomes I expect from this workshop. Come on, guys, talk to me now. You had a good restful weekend, good Sunday dinner yesterday, good rest last night, and you're ready. We're starting off your Monday morning and next week. Waiting for you. Althea, you want to start off? You had started off this morning giving us the introductions. I hear you. Althea?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Coaching, as it relates to the workplace, is to help your workers, your staff, to become stronger in their performance, learn new techniques. Coaches are like a teammate who cheers you on.
Who cheers you on? Okay.
Yeah.
Provide you support. Okay.
Yes. Celebrate your successes and yes, provide support, as you said, to guide you.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you, Althea. Good start. Is there any outcome you expect from this workshop, Althea? You must just think about, the topic.
Yes, to be a better coach.
Okay, to be a better coach. Yeah. We want to enable you, Althea. Very good. Thank you very much. We're gonna call some other names. Rushnia? Is Rushni or Rushni? It's a very cute name. Rushni, what do you know? What do you need to know? What outcome do you expect from the workshop?
It's Rushnia, by the way.
Rushnia. Okay.
Rushnia,
you saw Chris Brown last night, Rushnia?
No.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. So I agree with Althea. When you coach someone, you're actively involved in the process.
Yes.
You're actively involved and engaging with them and ensuring that when you set an objective or a goal for your team, you're checking in with them to monitor progress, ensuring that they do attain whatever goal that you set for them. So that's what I know about, in an essence, what coaching in general. What
Yes.
I expect to learn from the workshop is,
Mhm.
as I said, to become a better coach for my
Mhm.
team,
Mhm.
to become a better manager,
Yeah.
to learn, as the title is, high impact coaching skills.
Mhm.
So essentially that is what I hope to grasp from the training.
All right, thank you very much. We hope to deliver that and more for you. Sadie, tell us quickly, what do you know about the topic? What you need to know? What outcomes do you expect from the workshop? Sadie? Sadie
Good
and
morning.
Wit. Hi, welcome,
Can,
Sadie.
can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, Sadie.
Okay. Well, as both Althea and Rochelle said, is coaching is a way to develop your team, to help them to grow, to build confidence, to develop their skills. And what I expect from this training is to become a better coach,
Mhm.
how to basically help my team to grow, to
Mhm.
partner with them, and to
Mhm.
develop them.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Sadie. So I've called 3 names. Anybody else want to volunteer just to tell us quickly? And do we have any male on the workshop? Any man here besides me? I don't see a man name at all. Any man is here? Any other man?
Yes, sir. Present. Rough up
Who
my
is
voice.
who is this now? Who is this now?
Name is Donald Gill.
Donald, welcome, Donald. Tell us, Donald, what do you know about the topic and what do you need to know and what outcomes do you expect, Donald?
All right, morning, colleagues.
Morning.
What I know about the topic is coaching is a good way to reset expectations. It's a
Yes.
opportunity for team members in which to get feedback and not just any feedback, but pointed feedback on areas of concerns, areas that need improvement. You then assist that person by drafting up a plan, outlining expectations, what are going to be the steps involved, the milestones, most importantly, the deadline. My expectations at the end of this program is to enhance those skill sets that would have taken me some time to develop. And as you know, I'm very much particularly interested in creating the culture of coaching in the organization, which is something that I like to do.
Thank you very much, Donald. Very good. All right, thank you very much. So, and everything related to that, let me ask the team now. Based on what Donald and Sadie and Alfie and Roshni have said, they've all similarly said the same thing in terms of what coaching is and what they expect and how they plan to go forward. There's a word in that we could describe one of the common things in all of what they said. What would you say in all of what they've said that coaching involves this one thing of helping people, of talking to them, of setting expectations and objectives and going forward? What one word could you describe to say that you can't have coaching without this one thing, based on what the 4 responses we've gotten? Who can tell me? With all of what they've said.
Okay, I'm hearing it now.
Yeah. All of what they've said.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. But all of what you've said is important and is correct. But coaching can't happen without this one thing. What would you say is that one word that would have encapsulated everything that they've said in terms of what coaching is or involves? Anybody can tell me? Just I get you thinking a little bit. They've said it involves talking to people, helping them along, setting up objectives, setting expectations, providing support for them. But yeah, fine. All of this is correct. What would you say is the one word that we could use to describe coaching, to say coaching cannot happen without this one thing? It's an action.
I'm toddling between 2 words.
Tell me.
I'm toddling between communication and patience.
Wow. All right. So communication is I'm looking at communication. Thank you very much for that. Communication, yes. But a derivative, patience as a standard quality that we need to have. But before you can have that level of patience and tolerance, we're talking about having a conversation. Coming out of your word communication, conversation.
Yes.
Conversation. Because communication can be one way, you know, and it can be two way.
True.
But when we say conversation, is more encapsulating.
Mhm.
Everything our four colleagues have said involves conversation.
Mhm.
Not only communication, because I can tell you to go here, move there, and you don't come back to me, you don't talk back to me. But when we say conversation, we're hitting the mark in terms of that connection and in
Mhm.
terms of being able to give support, give feedback, set expectations. So I am assuming that the 20 participants listening to me now are persons who have already or are interested in or have a desire to have that conversation that will make coaching possible. Conversation. So keep that in your margin for now, and we'll come back to it later. So this is a picture of my daughter, and it's a significant picture. I don't want to use my personal background into the workshop, but some of it I have to get personal because coaching is personal to me and involves quite a number of the persons I work with. So here's my daughter driving my car. She and I are in there. Well, my son is in the back seat, and this is her first ride. First time she's driving across the flat bridge. First time ever. And she had just maybe a year or two before, maybe a year before gotten her license. And I'm having enabled her to get to this point of driving a car, to be able to drive across the flat bridge. And it's significant because I've seen how she has grown over time to be able to drive across the flat bridge and to take the river road. Everybody knows River Road? Everybody knows River Road?
Yes.
All right, everybody should know
Mhm.
River Road.
Mhm.
Now, it's not the easiest of places to drive. And I thought at the time in her driving development that the highways across Kingston and nearby were one way of getting to be able to drive. But when you get to the flat bridge, it takes more guts to maneuver. So when she went across the flat bridge that day, we all clapped and cheered her because she would have come this far. And now I see my daughter whizzing past me on the highway and blowing me. So wow, that's the coaching that we put in. And I'm not saying it's perfect, right? Not saying that. I'm just saying that when you see someone doing something and it becomes part of them and you had created the enabling, that's a satisfaction that a manager or the coach will get out of an experience. But before my daughter got to this point, and I dare say my 3 children, I had coached them I didn't teach them to drive until you get the driving license. I started off the coaching process, but then I had somebody doing the actual teaching to drive. So they started off with me. All 3 of them started off with me. But then this is where I started with them. None of them could do anything at all. So we had to work on their motor skills, their mobility, and their balancing skills. So here's where it all started for all 3 of them. Yeah. And then now eventually remove the balance wheel from the bicycle and then help them to balance. And now riding a bicycle became commonplace for them. Then as they grew, you bought a bigger bicycle. Yes, and then now as the bigger the bicycle got, the more you have to dress scrapes and bruises because then they're at an extended level of balancing, and sometimes in trying to balance they fall. So you move through all of this process. So, and we could go on and on. I mean, if you have children, you will know when they learn to walk and then to climb and so forth, and you develop the motor skills, and you would have enabled all of that. All right. So this morning's workshop we're going to look at coaching and its outcomes, explore the principles of individual coaching to help you build your self-awareness of your role and your impact on your organization, even as you coach. And that is why I'm asking that we own this workshop, not only as a lecture. Don't wait for my presentation to say you can read back and no. I'm asking you to embed yourself in it, because if you are going to do it, then it's just that you are going to do it to create the enabling for your teams. Look at the dynamics of individual and team engagement through the coaching process we're going to do. We're looking at the coaching gap analysis, coaching for personal development, coaching for performance. And whilst we're not going to be giving you the full content and all of this, we're going to be drawing on these experiences, okay? Because the aim of the game in coaching is to, as Sadie and Althea said earlier, and all the others, and Donald said, we're trying to provide support and assistance for people to do better, how to coach your team members. We're going to get into that as well. So coaching involves all of what you mentioned, all of these things, the leading, orientating towards a new way of doing or being, training people, building expertise, building skills, providing mentorship, providing guidance, and teaching people some new things, okay? We said that earlier, and we said that it all came out of what? Conversations, or is enabled by. All of this is enabled by conversation. All right, so when we go any more in the content, we said we're going to look at the content, and we're going to look at, understanding our role and language and engagement. So let me move on from that. We're going to enroll for the cause. I've challenged you along that path already. We're going to step forward and we're going to execute. So I assume that everybody on this platform this morning have enrolled for the cause, have stepped forward, and everyone is prepared to execute. Right? Everyone who is listening to me now is prepared to execute. Because when we talk about coaching, it can't be a lecture. It's not a touch and go. It has to be a full engagement of the people who you are seeking to impact towards a certain outcome. Impacting people towards a certain outcome. All right, so what's the nature of coaching? Coaching conversations and actions are meant to result in. So here's the end game of it. The writer Covey says, start with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. So if it is that we're seeking to ensure the success of our team, Donald said it, enabling them to do better, evaluating their performance, setting objectives, and providing support. If that's the pathway, let's look at the end game first. The end game then is that the conversations will result in long-term excellent performance. True? Because you want people to do better. I want my daughter to drive and take care of herself and be safe. Take care of other people in the vehicle and be safe in taking them. A long-term excellent performance.